Joe, rolling.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1283, April 9, 2024. 81 degrees on this day in 1930, 15 degrees on this day in 1997. And before I bring you the ice outs, let me tell you that if you have a lake home or a swimming pond on the property, Aquaside products will keep it free of weeds and algae and all the junk the kids don't like. Aquaside has been helping people keep great lake shores for more than 60 years with a complete line of lake and pond control products. The products work quickly. They're easy to use. I've used them. That's how easy they are to use. Yeah. They're registered with the EPA and DNR, and the products are safe. There's no need to let weeds overtake your lake or pond this summer. Get that gin-colored clear water on your swimming beach. Call Aquaside today. They'll identify your problem and get you the right products. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com. And Aquaside brings you today's ice outs. Minnetonka went out on this day,
April 9th,
1894. 1938, 1967, 2005, and 2006. White Bear Lake went out on this day in 1966, 1967, and also on 2005 and 2006.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you! And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic. With Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Before the show, we were musing about the tremendous outpouring of coverage and photographs of the eclipse yesterday. It just seemed that we were taken by it, weren't we? We were overcome.
Well,
yes,
they were. You and I were.
I didn't see anything here.
I saw a difference, though, when I walked out from the show, that it was darker. I knew it was darker, but there was no sun.
Well, Joe, please don't use my name. I work for a school district near and dear to Reaver's heart. Yesterday, an email came out from the principal telling teachers to keep the kids indoors in the afternoon because of the eclipse. Even if they are scheduled to go out for recess, keep them in. If they had plans to study the eclipse, they were to notify the office. She was concerned about their safety. And then she went on to say there might be a lot of Hispanic students absent because this is part of the Mayan culture. Okay, I'm not sure how we survived these 60 plus. I'm not sure how I survived these 60 plus years going through several of these. When I hear these people talking about this once in a lifetime event, I'm concerned that maybe they know something I don't, because this happens again in another 21 years. Maybe it is over. All right. Thank you. Unnamed. I don't think you faced a great deal of safety risk yesterday.
Zero.
Looking up at the sun.
In a very cloud
What was
covered.
she getting at? What did she think was going to happen?
Your eyeballs would burn and fry and fall out of your head.
On the eclipse, may I present to you the future president of the United States of America?
Okay,
Charles Barkley.
I thought it was maybe the Chuck Blimp that got in the way.
Hey, well, y'all, some of them losers standing outside watching that today.
They're not losers.
Yes, they are.
No,
it
doesn't
happen often. Hey, we've all seen darkness before. Stop it.
No, not in the daylight.
Come on, man.
Come on, Chuckster. Don't hate on the eclipse.
Come on, listen. I saw a loser standing watching your blimp. How about that?
You all see them losers standing outside. God, where's the best?
What's the deal with the fascination? Is it just social that's made this seem like such a big deal?
It's social media.
Well, I love events of nature. I love celestial events.
Well, and you bring them to
I
the
didn't
garage
happen to see it
logicians.
yesterday.
But whenever there is something like this, you bring it in a common sense. Hey, there's going to be this event, and then you're out of there.
Have you ever heard of an ABC television personality, apparently a legal analyst named Sunny Hostin?
Yeah, she's on The View.
Oh, God.
You know,
Matthew.
I'm going to give you a compliment. I'm going to give you a compliment. You know the kind of SH we don't know. So that's good.
Added value to the program.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Sonny Hostin.
I'm available for that My Talk afternoon gig, or I'm available for
instant response is what really seals it.
He
for
helps
us.
our female numbers, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He really ups
Even off a bit, don't
our
I?
female demographic.
Partial transcript from The View television show. Sonny Hostin on Monday's The View, that eclipses, earthquakes, and cicadas could lead one to believe that climate change exists.
All right. Thank you.
I'm not done with the transcript.
I was going to ask you this question.
Sonny Hostin paid God knows how many hundreds of thousands of dollars to be on this show. Hostin, I know, right? I have to say, one of our wonderful makeup artists, when the earthquake was happening, she put her coat on and she was like, Jesus is coming. I'm out. I'm leaving. We got a solar eclipse. We've got an earthquake. She ran down the hallway. Griffin. Who's Griffin?
Kathy?
Well, maybe there's no...
Somebody on The View. Griffin, the rapture is here. Hostin, the rapture is here. Also, I learned that the cicadas are coming. She pronounced it wrong. Goldberg. Who's Goldberg?
Whoopi.
Okay. Cicadas. Hostin, for the first time in 100 years. Goldberg. No. There's two different kinds coming. There's two different kinds of cicadas coming. Bihar. The good cicadas and the bad cicadas. This is a transcript of the show.
Griffin is what they have on the panel as the conservative female.
Hostin. This is for the first time in many, many years. Goldberg. No, every 17 years this happens. Hostin. That's not what I read, but maybe you know better.
Yeah.
Goldberg, in a way.
Yeah.
Hostin. All those things together would maybe lead one to believe that either climate change exists or something is really going on.
What?
Bihar. Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground. Goldberg. Jesus, God in heaven, I'm praying. Goldberg, the eclipse, and they've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen and they actually can say when these things are going to happen. So all these folks who are saying, it's a sign from God, God doesn't give you a warning. Okay? You think he gave people at the Tower of Babel a warning? Oh, I'm about to jack you all up. No, God does stuff, and then you figure, oh.
Wow.
He actually did.
God, will you take pity on us, please? Would you excuse us? Would you forgive us for this?
For they do not know what
they really don't know what they're doing.
Come on down off the cross. We need the wood, huh?
God, forgive us. I'm serious. Just forgive us that this show's on TV. Could you just maybe on your ledger? And could you just cross that one out?
Whoopi is the brain on that program?
Sounds like it. She's a smart one.
The voice of reason in that conversation.
I think we have a new segment in GL, the Daily View transcript reading.
Well, you get me the transcript every day, and I might read it. But this Sonny Hostin, Sonny, S-U-N-N-Y.
Yes.
She's their legal analyst.
She's a very hardcore liberal.
She's an educated lawyer, and she tried to link earthquakes and the eclipse to climate change.
Seems legit.
My God. Wow.
I wonder what it could be.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
I can't play that anymore.
And I do not feel fine.
Well, my music's gone. None of this stuff seems to work. So that's typical.
It's because of the eclipse.
So climate change. Cicadas.
Yeah.
All of that stuff you just read me from that program. I didn't need to know any of that, Joe. That just brought, now I'm a little bit dumber than I was 5 minutes ago.
Well, not only didn't you need to know it, but it was all wrong.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let me know before are you going to stay with the eclipse? Because I have more audio on that.
Well, go ahead. I'm about to change, but we haven't yet. So go ahead.
I am going to let you in on representative from Texas. Her name is Sheila Jackson, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
She represents Texas's 18th district. She offered up thoughts on the eclipse yesterday.
Provide unique light and energy so that you have the energy of the moon at night.
Yep.
And sometimes you've heard the word full moon. Sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases.
Not really.
And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon?
Yep.
Right.
Are the gases such that we could do that?
No. Well, no. The gas.
The sun is a mighty powerful heat.
It is.
And it's almost impossible to go near the sun.
It's
the moon is more manageable.
Right.
And you will see
Possible.
in a moment, or not a moment, you'll see in a couple of years that NASA is going back to the moon.
All right.
Cool.
So, wait a minute.
That got hold of the wrong stuff.
Stop a second. So the good people of Texas elected this person?
Sure did.
She's holding an office. We should hook her up with the guy that thinks the island is going to tip over.
Right.
They would make a good couple.
The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
And they live happily ever after.
To answer your question, Ken, she is representing the Houston area. So
You know
once
what?
again, closer to the country's tallest.
Rook, look her up. Sheila Jackson, Houston. You know what?
I got it right here. If you
We don't have a country. We don't. We used to, and there's always been dummies, but our dummies are on a new level. This is a new level.
New dummies.
This is a new level of dummies.
New dummies.
What we're learning, or at least what I'm learning, again, against my will, that the squad, Ocasio-Cortez, the nut from Riverside, and all, they're not rare at all.
Nope.
We have people like them all over the country in offices of power.
she has 2 degrees.
In what?
She has a BA from Yale.
Well, that tells you all you need to know about that failed academy.
And she also has a degree from the University of Virginia.
Also failed. Do we know what the degrees are
Juris Doctoris.
in? My God, she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
born
so
in Queens.
Sonny Houston or whatever the hell her name is. Sonny.
Wow.
Sonny the bathroom.
And those law degrees were both acquired before we lowered the standards.
Right.
Wow.
She is married to Elwyn Lee, married in 1973, 2 kids.
Yeah. Elwyn, huh? How long she been serving us?
She's been in office since 1990.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
forever. She's been around forever.
Yeah,
Such, we're not heading for our demise. We're living at rock bottom right now.
We don't have a country.
It cannot get worse.
If you have a TV show in which a lawyer is telling you that an eclipse makes you wonder about climate change, and if you have a legislature that has a woman who's worried that the moon is made completely of gas,
but you can regulate it and control it more so than the sun.
and it's almost impossible to get near the sun.
Right.
Well, no, it is impossible. It's not almost. You don't need almost, Sheila. It's impossible. It produces a lot of heat, the sun. We have no country. We are awash on the rocks of destruction. We are washed up on the rocks of desperation. We have nothing going for us.
The heat got on.
You dug yourself a hole.
I'm trying to find that. You know what? You mentioned the social media aspect of the eclipse, and that's largely why I think a lot of people decided to gather. But that's the whole reason why you don't need to waste your time. Some of the most stunning things you'll see about the eclipse are on social media.
Okay, survey, Matthew, was the eclipse a big deal in your house yesterday, leading up to yesterday?
No.
What about your boys, Chris?
Only because they had to do a school writing assignment about it. But other than that, it was barely mentioned. In fact, my wife didn't even know about it.
John, did Dill tear up when he found out it was going to be cloudy? wasn't going to be able to watch the eclipse.
No, we had. No, I don't think we even had a conversation about the eclipse in this house.
So we're a real bitter, cynical group.
No, I wanted my little girls to see it. They were anticipating it. It would have been fun for them, but they were deprived by climate change. Produced the clouds, and the sun didn't shine.
Cicadas
and there were cicadas and earthquakes
blocking it. You're blocking the sky.
It. Yeah.
I did go back to the last total eclipse 2017, and there was some stuff in the paper, but not as much, I don't think.
It's funny you did that. I was going to ask you to go back to 2017 and see if the hysteria measured yesterday. It probably did to a certain extent. Is that correct?
There's on the page 2 thing on Star Tribune. There's a large article, and then
there were some beautiful photographs today.
John, can you use your newspaper app and go way back?
Sure.
Find one in the 30s or 40s, whenever.
We'll see what I can find.
I got a quote from a guy saying, "Huh, look at
what
that."
The hell was that?
I think I stumbled
it's
upon
the rapture.
Well, that's Marjorie. Remember?
Well, it's not only Marjorie; it's the women on The View.
Yeah. The rapture.
I think I may have accidentally stumbled on it. Why you think it's a big deal? Is it a big deal because for so many people it's an easy distraction from real life?
It beats working.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, it's just fun. They're fun. It happens they're infrequent enough for it to be a big deal. I have no problem with that.
Was that you yesterday, Chris, that proposed that it was on behalf of the Biden administration to distract us from what he's doing?
No, but that would have been I would have loved to come up with that one.
This year, at least, we didn't get any news of parents asking the school to reschedule the eclipse because their kids had doctor appointments.
I forgot about that one. Was that here? Was that local?
It could have been, but no, it was somewhere else.
It
doesn't make any difference. We don't have a country.
Joe, what we need is like when you go to Vegas and you see a comedian and he has shows at 5 p.m., 9 p.m. and midnight.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Could you please reschedule it?
I gotta.
We don't even have 50 states anymore. We're all one state of idiocy. We're just all blended together as complete fools. Fools.
I have it right here. August 10th of 2017. At least that's when the story was.
That's
updated.
when we had the eclipse.
Dallas, Texas.
There you go.
A mother. I'm trying to find. Oh, it was a request on Facebook.
Yep.
My kids go back to school that day, she wrote, then helpfully suggested, can it be done on the weekend instead?
Right. Can you have the eclipse on the weekend?
A little more convenient.
We're no longer functioning. People no longer can put 2 and 2 together. It's over. We are done.
Most kids go back to school that day.
Yeah.
Can't
you do it on a weekend?
There's no way that's real. That has to be fake.
No,
Chris.
Jenny. That's real.
There's a way.
That's real.
Don't do that to me.
No, that's real.
Don't do that.
August 3rd, 12:01 p.m. Well, Joe, it seems like a legitimate question. Can it be done on the weekend?
What'd you find, John?
I went back to January 24, 1925, which was a total eclipse that actually was available to see from here. And the front page of the Minneapolis Daily Star is full of eclipse stories.
Good.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right.
Yeah. So that's almost 99 years ago, right? Yeah, 99 years.
Yeah.
So
I'm not involved in that.
20 millions vote eclipse. Great show. Quakes due to follow eclipse, says Padre.
Why do you say eclipse?
Is that how do I say it wrong?
What seed are you?
Do I say it wrong?
Eclipse.
What's the Christopher Walken?
Eclipse.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you go play with your robot?
Yeah, I do have a problem with that word.
You do with robot.
Not as bad as you had a problem with the word bull.